The Walt Disney Company shareholders meeting was kept virtual this year. It's a very big change from what it once was, when the Disney leadership was often welcomed like rock stars into stadiums and conference centers. Now, Bob Iger, well, he's squirreled away like a rodent in winter, hiding his nuts. Folks, today we'll tell you why things have gone nuts at the Disney Company and why they were inside a bunker for the most recent shareholders meeting. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Pro Channel, where we as ever endeavor to explain entertainment. Keeping you ahead of the culture curve is what we do, and we love what we do. If you also love it, or at least like it, consider clicking the like button, and we're going to get underway telling you why the shareholders meetings of modern Disney are nothing like they once were. There's a reason for that, folks. Actions speak louder than words. Folks, let's go to a news outlet from St. Louis. Oh, you weren't expecting this out of the Pro Show, were you? Well, we do our research here, and this particular news story came out 6 years ago. See if you can spot the difference then versus now.
One of the most high-profile corporate meetings on the planet took place right here in St. Louis today.
Yeah, executives from all over the world and Disney fans were glued to the news that was coming out of Orlando about the annual shareholders meeting that was taking place in downtown St. Louis. Fox 2's John Brown has a look at that meeting right here in St. Louis.
Yeah, hard to believe. A lot of people had no idea this was taking place right here in downtown. So one of the few shareholder meetings that has bloggers, movie fanatics, and even business analysts all watching and chronicling every single move. And when you factor in massive corporate mergers pending, big movie openings, and huge additions to the theme parks, yes, all eyes were on St. Louis today.
Now, this is what it was like 6 years ago, folks. This is what it was like just 6 years ago. But if you want to see a corporation in decline, if you want to see what it looks like when you're trying to hide in a virtual bunker, well, take a look at 2025. It's been this way for years. Disney announces 2025 annual shareholders meeting to be held virtually. And that is how it was. The Walt Disney Company has announced its 2025 annual meeting of shareholders scheduled to take place virtually. Virtually. And yes, folks, that is the way the Disney Company operates now. They do not do the rock star appearances anymore. Their actions speak louder than their words. Pay attention to it. Let me show you this too. If you go to the 2019 annual meeting of shareholders, and this is how it was forever before this. This was a big event. They were so excited. Audiences were excited. Look at this document here that gives us the rundown of what occurred on 2019. Bob Iger, Alan Braverman. Presentation started with a video. They chatted. Hey, what did we do next? Well, if you keep scrolling, eventually you get to more videos. Although there's an interview in here as well with Braverman and Belinda Massafra. But you get video after Bob Iger speaks. Another video. It keeps going and going. They had so much to announce. They had so much to pounce on against their opponents. More videos. This was the Lion King trailer. This was the Maleficent, Mistress of Evil trailer. Then they had Frozen 2, a video. Then they had Star Wars. It was stuff after stuff after stuff. People couldn't get enough of Disney. And that's the way it was back in 2019. Today, however, it is not the same. Today, it is different. The Walt Disney Company instead hides behind the internet, keeping Bob Iger a digital arm's length away from people who would hold him accountable, even perhaps to the point of what we saw last year when Bob Iger received artificial intelligence voiceovers for pre-screened and pre-selected questions. Panel, what does it say about the Walt Disney Company that we've switched to a virtual meeting now, and no longer is this an event, but rather it is a way to skip out on being held accountable to shareholders?
I think it showed. Go ahead, Vash.
Well, I was just going to say, I'm so glad you brought this up, Pro, because St. Louis, as soon as you did, I was like, oh, I know where he's going. Yes. They used to do these in person. They used to have all the executives come on down. And guess what, folks? The questions weren't pre-screened with AI. You, if you were a shareholder, could attend these meetings in person and get up right to the mic and ask Bob Iger directly what was actually going on. In fact, it was quite amusing because somebody every single year would ask about Song of the South and when it was coming to physical media. I mean, it was really, really something. But you could actually face your shareholders directly. Now, it's all virtual. That virtual wall right there. Hide Bob Iger, hide these executives, and pre-screen the questions while you're at it. Again, it does show fear. Go ahead, Marvin.
I think that Disney understands exactly. They might claim that they're still the leader in family entertainment in the world, but basically what's happening is they are well aware of what their reputation actually is. They are well aware of what people actually think about them, and if they let people get up there and actually say the things that they want to say and speak freely, it's going to shatter that entire narrative, and it's just going to be Bob Iger getting lambasted. I mean, I the only stockholders meeting I've ever been to in my life was the WWE stockholders meeting that I went to twice, and I remember like Vince McMahon being asked questions by stockholders, and they were like, well, how about you explain the failure of the XFL? And he's like, well, how about you kiss my, and that would be like much better for Bob Iger to actually like fire back at these people and have a back and forth, not to say what Vince said, but to actually converse with the stockholders.
Jonas, we see your bars, but we don't hear those dulcet vocal cords.
Yeah, well, Bob Iger is terrified of the shareholders, and because of the work of people like Alex Sherman over there at CNBC, we know that Bob Iger does not like having to address shareholders. Why? Because they're not controlled media people who will be nice to him because they need access. He'll get questions that real fans want to complain about. Some of them are petty, some of them are small things, but 2 years ago, or maybe it was more than that, when on the Valiant Renegade live stream, Bob Iger would, this guy is coming in, he's got a question about Disney Plus, and he'll say something about Disney Plus, then he would switch to, by the way, do you think it might be time to get away from all of this woke garbage that you're putting into all of your children's content? And he would just, and Bob stumbled over it. There's a great supercut on Valiant Renegade's channel from that year. It was also the year that the SIFTOD stuff was going on with the dissolution of Reedy Creek. Bob Iger hates hearing from shareholders. He loves that Disney is institutionally held because he can call those people and he can threaten their jobs, as opposed to shareholders. Well, he can't do anything to them. In fact, it should be that he's scared of shareholders because he should be trying to answer to them. He's scared of shareholders because he does not want to do anything other than praise himself. He's tanked the company, in my opinion, from where it could be. They bought an entire studio with Fox, and that value has essentially disappeared at this point. There's no difference in the value of this company from after purchasing Fox than when it was before they purchased Fox.
Well, they've also got a broad problem as well, Jonas, in that your stock price is down 11.9% this year. And
hey, Culture, let me hop in real quick and just toss this to you as well. This might have something to do. We can't say the T word right now on YouTube, Culture. I don't know if you've heard this. The T word gets you in trouble.
Yeah, they don't like the ist. They don't like anything ending in ist usually. So yeah,
big to the T, little Elsa, but we can't say it. Here's the deal, though. I guess it's Esla, not Elsa. Big T, little Esla. Anyway, Culture. Iger doesn't want to be asked about questions like this.
No,
he doesn't want to be asked questions about Snow White. He doesn't want to be asked questions about falling subscribers and low rates for. So that's why they got to screen this. That's why they got to keep it digital. That's the whole game plan. Walk me through it, Culture.
No, well, I mean, look, I would be terrified by transparency. When it comes to my business grudges with the wealthiest man in the world as well. Because I mean, Disney was one of the instigators of the little group, the little cadre of advertisers that were going to, cut off any revenue to the largest social media platform of repute, not largest in numbers, but largest in power. And there are good things happening for Elon and his efforts and his electric car company.
Don't say the T word, Culture.
I'm not
It's verboten on YouTube today.
But I'm not saying it. But X X, on the other hand, is worth $44 billion again. All of a
Are
sudden,
you saying, Culture, that X is supercharged?
it absolutely is, and it does it with just electric motors. It also has these really cool robot things that I'm going to buy at the end of the year. At least one. I'm going to buy one of them.
Culture, things are progressing at ludicrous speed.
Ludicrous speed.
I almost
Yeah,
feel like I'm seeing Plaid right now.
But look, I mean, you're talking about the polar opposites of humanity. Bob, terrified of transparency and for being exposed for what he is and what he's done, and Elon Musk is busy making everything transparent at this moment. They don't like that. You kind of look. The tea leaves are not good for Disney overall, and they're kind of being shown in a way that I feel is very fair and very Daily Wire like. So I have a feeling that things are being brought to the forefront. Hey, I call it how I see it.
Big Iger's going to be put in charge of entertainment culture. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. He'd probably do better at Daily Wire than he is at Disney right now. But
well, I've always found that Bob is a big fan of the trans, but not so much of the parents lately.
He's a big fan of Transams. Hey, folks, by the way, if you're wondering why we can't say the T word, big T, little Esla, it's because I believe YouTube is very worried that there are people out there saying that word, then telling you to do things that they don't want to be held accountable for. So I want to be clear. I'm not criticizing YouTube. I think there's a reason behind the scenes that this is happening, but we can't say that word right now.
I'll also point out that that's a data-driven conclusion. By the way, I've seen what Pro's talking about.
Disney is a data-driven company, so they're going to be on board with that. You know who else they need to get on board with that? Jimmy Kimmel. So
Jimmy's in a lot of trouble. By the way, folks, the shareholders meeting though with Disney, virtual, and I don't see any end to the virtuality of it until a new CEO comes in. And we hope people get the win. It seems like they're winnowing down the candidates for CEO. It was for now. Pitaro says he's out. We never thought that Bergman has a chance. That means it's tomorrow versus Walden internally. And I'm hearing that neither of them impresses. They both have major flaws. It could go to a cause outside an external candidate, perhaps. We'll see. But I don't expect anything near term regarding that one.
Wait. Are you saying? Go ahead.
Culture.
No, I was just going to ask. Are you saying that there's like a word salad lady that could come in and rescue the Disney company, the Disney company?
Well, why not? Does she come with ranch?
I don't know.
I personally think that Josh Tomorrow has made a strong showing for why he could be Bob Iger's successor with how he dodged, the fan reaction at D23 when he knew darn well that he was going to bulldoze Rivers of America.
Yeah, and the Muppets, and he knew to dump it when it came to any inkling of what they were really going to do. Not bad.
Dodging.
Clever girl. But dude, it's not the Matrix, it's the Disney company. He needs to have some good ideas and get some good people involved. Yes. I don't trust Josh to do that. I just don't.
Nice guy, but so was Jimmy Carter. I know you want more. You want more of the Pro Channel, folks, but we've got to head out the door for this video. But fret not yet, for more content is yet on the way. 3 times a day, thrice as nice. Right here on the Pro Channel. Oh, what's that you say? You want more than that? Fine, we'll do 4. 4 videos. Well, yeah, that's happening. Folks, as you get ready to go, consider clicking the like button for us. It is a huge help. Also, like, share, subscribe, and click it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. We would also love it if you could drop on down and give us a comment. We love hearing from you. And although we can't respond to every single comment, we often are reading them indeed. Folks, we would encourage you to consider subscribing to our partner channels, that Park Place, that Game Place, and that Pod Place. We love them all. We think you might too. Until the next time we have the joy of joining with you, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
Why listen to music made by people and companies who really don't like you? Check out Vacation Radio today and prepare for all new content made by the people behind the WDW Pro channel. It's the place you need for all the music. That should be fun. Hundreds of songs, every genre you can imagine. Listen live on YouTube and enjoy a set list that's always sunny. It's Vacation Radio. What are you waiting for? Every WDW Pro video has a link to Vacation Radio in the video description. Try it out and subscribe today.